Yes. RJ, you get the two-handed dunk to get the double-double. Crowd seemed really invested in it. You did too. What was that moment like for you?
It was really great, actually. Just knowing that it's my first career double-double, and having these guys having my back every single day and trusting on me, it just gives me the confidence to keep going out and playing hard and having their back on the defensive side. And it's just all toughness, and thanks to them and thanks to God, just keeping me in this process. It's been a little hard, but just having him and my teammates and coach trusting on me is just big time.
Jeremy.
RJ, can you describe what this has been like the last couple of months and what tonight does for you?
It's been a little rough, but just having these guys like Matt, coach, and our leaders and every single teammate, it helps out a lot. If y'all saw in Indiana, after I missed a shot to go overtime, Matt didn't care. I mean, I'm not shooting the ball well, but he still made the right play and gave me the ball when I was open. And right after that miss it, he came up to me and said it was a great shot. So things like that, having Matt as a leader, gives a lot of confidence to players and just to keep going. And because any other player would just say, like, why you shoot that, just shoot it, pass it back to me or something like that. But he's a great leader, and having him and coach tell me to keep shooting it, it doesn't matter. Next ball, you're a great shooter. It just gives me a lot of confidence.
Brian, and then Doug.
So, RJ, how does it feel for you just knowing that coach has that type of faith in you to go back to you again tonight?
I mean, it's just, I know the shots aren't falling, but I'm going to have his back on the defensive side, grabbing rebounds and trying to help the team as much as possible, and then just letting the offense flow by itself.
I guess, Matt, kind of after that moment against Indiana with RJ, what was it like to see him be able to kind of respond and have the game that he had?
It was great. I mean, I knew he was locked in when he went over and snagged a rebound over me. I was like, okay, he's locked in today. But I mean, it's been a long time coming. So I told him, like, just keep focusing on the little things like rebounding, and the shots will fall. Like, you're so athletic, you'll get in transition. You know, that stuff will figure itself out. But I mean, when he's rebounding like that, he's gonna get easies, and it's gonna make everything a lot easier for us.
Joey.
Matt, when you hear RJ talk about your leadership, I'm certain that's probably not exclusive to him. What's that mean to you to know that you've kind of had that impact in your 1 year as quickly and profoundly as you have?
Yeah, it's great. I love my guys, man. Like, I don't look at myself that way necessarily. I'm just on the team, and I'm trying to win, and I just love my guys. That's really it. I'm not a self-proclaimed leader, but it means a lot that my guys care about me too.
Jeremy.
Just for both you guys, what have you guys learned the last two games with Terrence out? What has that done to you guys as a team?
You want it?
Sure. I mean, we've just had to pick up a lot of slack. I mean, he's an amazing player, and he gets so many easy points in transition. So we know that we're going to have to be more crisp on offense because we're not going to get so many easies like that. And he's also a great defender. I mean, he just does everything. We just had to, like, be like, all right, we're missing an All-American caliber player. Let's just go do it, man. Like, there's not much thought to it. We're just like, all right, this is tough, but we're just going to have to play anyway.
Yeah, going off that too, he just draws a lot of attention on the offensive side, so it opens up a lot of things. And just his leadership as well and his toughness on the defensive side. Coach said it, like, next man up, so we just got to take care of business and make sure we keep playing hard.
Scott.
RJ, I guess how much did maybe going hard for those rebounds early, getting that first dunk, just maybe put you in the right rhythm tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Coaches told me, and like all the assistant coaches told me, like, just get on the glass, rebounds, play hard on the defensive side, and don't worry about the offense because it's just going to flow your way. And just like that, I just went after the boards and found my rhythm.
Matt.
RJ, is there something specific over the last month or so that you've tried to do to continue to have love for basketball and not go to a dark place? Is there something you've tried to do in a routine?
Nah, I'm not going to lose love for basketball ever. I'm always, like, trusting God on this process. Like, he always has, like, process for you, so you can't rush it. Things happen for a reason, so I'm just not gonna rush it, trust this process, and just stick with my teammates and not be that negative energy throughout the team because I'm playing bad. Like, I just want to elevate them at the same time and make them better every single day.
Scott.
RJ, did you? I mean, obviously you mentioned teammates, coaches, support. Did you have any maybe questions about your confidence in the last couple of months that you had to maybe fight or deal with?
Not at all. I mean, in practice, every single time I shot it, Matt kept telling me, keep shooting the ball, don't worry about it. And it's just confidence never left. Confidence always been here, and I'm going to keep shooting it. I don't care what's my stat on three-pointers, but I'm going to just keep shooting the ball because that's what I was recruited for, and it doesn't matter what's the outcome, but that's what I do.
RJ, what have you learned about yourself over the last month and a half or 2 months?
Learned a lot, actually, how good of a defender I could be and how my length helps out my teammates like on the gaps and just guarding the ball and just taking pride on the defensive side.
Doug.
Matthew, how big was Jay Depp's 8-0 run to start the second half? Seemed like a momentum changer, and was it good to see some other guys start to knock down some threes?
Yeah, it's just so great when guys go on little runs like that. It just takes, it just blew up the game. Like, it takes so much pressure off of all of us, and he's a great player. I tell him, just like RJ, just keep shooting, man. You're gonna find a shot. He was 4 for 6 tonight from 3. He's just a great player. I have so much I just believe in him so much, and he's gonna be a really good player in this league.
Andy.
Matt, it seems like the last couple games being able to kind of be a little more aggressive and driving and kind of get downhill. Is that something you've kind of done on purpose, or how has that kind of been added to your game over the last couple weeks?
I've just really tried to play the same, just more aggressive since Terrence is out. That's really it. And Coach Underwood, like mainly the only difference is I'm getting more plays ran for me, so I'm getting more easies. And my guys are finding me, like in the Indiana game when I got fouled on a 3. They didn't even call a play for me. I just ISO'd that. But Ty was like, he's like, we believe in you, Matt. Like, we're gonna ride this out with you. Take us home, basically. And so I think my teammates just keep getting me looks. Like, everybody's so unselfish. Jaden's always looking for me. So it's really been not as hard as I thought it was gonna be because everybody just keeps getting me the ball. So yeah.
Joy.
RJ, it seemed like the building was kind of aware. Like did you feel maybe their energy as you started to get it going offensively? It seems like they kind of really came alive when you hit a 3 or had some of those dunks.
Yeah, I felt all the energy. I want to thank all the Illini fans because, like, the real ones that always come to the games, they always support me. They always shoot me a text about keep shooting the ball, keep your confidence up, your game's going to come and all that. So I appreciate them all. And just just support every single game, just packing the house, and just helping us have electric energy here in the stadium. It's really good.
Jeremy.
Matt, I asked this of Brad the other day. You guys have 3 transfers making a huge impact, having your best seasons. What's been the key to that working? How do you guys make that work?
We got talented guys. Me, Terrence, and Dane. That's a pretty talented group right there. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but and Coach Underwood just does a good job of finding who's hot, running plays for people. It's kind of like when you have talented players, stuff kind of just comes together, and it still hasn't been perfect. Like, we've lost some games we shouldn't have, but with a group like that, we should be able to compete at a high level.
One more. Okay, Joy.
Matt, those dunks down the lane, looks like we've seen more of those the last 2 games than we had. Is that a confidence thing? Like, what goes into those?
I don't know, man. I just happened to get some dunks. Like, I really don't know why I got those. It just opened up for me. The one against Indiana, that one was just like the lane was just wide open. And this one today, I just had a good pump fake. So, like I said, people just keep finding me, so I just keep shooting it.
Anything else? All right.
Glad to be going home with a win. I thought Minnesota played great. They had 2 consecutive games, I think, shooting over 50%. It's a really talented offensive team, Minnesota is. And I thought we got off to a great start. If you use the word trap game, this was probably one. So I was concerned about our energy, and I thought we came out really, really good. I thought we came out with a real focus. We had a little 2-3 minute lull that I didn't like. I think we took 5 threes in a row, or 5 tough ones in a row. But we're going home with a win and on to the next. And that's, I thought I was really, really, really excited for RJ. I told him before the game, rebound. And he did that. And then it's pretty cool when you coach basketball at a place and 15,000 have seen a young man struggle. And when that 3 went in and the eruption that happened, that's pretty cool, man. That's people dialed into our program and the struggles of a young guy. But I'm going to tell you, and it's all about a hug. It's all about the hug. And we can believe in him as coaches and tell him we believe in him, and that doesn't end the struggle. But that play Matt Meyer made at the end of the game at Indiana, I stood up and screamed overtime. And when he missed it, Matt Meyer gave that kid a hug, a teammate, and that's belief. That's when you know your teammates believe you. And so I'm really happy for that. And I made sure I mentioned that to our team tonight after the game. And then it's nice to see Jaden Epps get going again from 3. We know he's a good shooter. He makes them all the time, and I think his most 3 since Syracuse. So, fought some foul trouble early. Matt was Matt, and he's turning into one of the better players in the country. So, we've got to have that from him every night.
Doug?
Could you share a little bit more about what you've told RJ during what turned out to be a pretty lengthy shooting slump? What was kind of your approach with him, and what did you talk to him about?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to handle because it's talk usually means nothing. Talk's pretty cheap, and you can tell him you believe, and you can tell him to keep shooting, and you got to find it, and you got to find your way, and all we can do as a coaching staff is be really, really supportive. I did everything. I ripped his butt. I loved him. I hugged him. He got in the gym. We shot. And yet you've got to get through it. And anybody who's been a shooter knows sometimes it's hard. And but you always persevere when you're a good human being, and he is, and you work, and he's done that. And I've never lost belief in him at all. That's why he's played. And I mean, I played him 31 minutes a game. He went 0 for 9. And I've never lost belief in him, and I don't believe in that. And but for his teammates to do that's pretty special.
Brian?
Brad, can you talk to us about how Jaden's ability for teams to not be able to go under the screens add a dynamic to the offense?
Yeah, and that's what Minnesota does. And Minnesota's deal is, they try to stay out of rotation at all cost. And so they go under ball screens, and you got to make them. And in the first game we got downhill a lot against them. We got in the paint off our 2-man game and spread, and really hurt them. And they went under him tonight, and Jaden's pretty good at doing that. That's what he does. And he's got a little hesitation move, and then he gets downhill and gets a layup. And Jaden's a really good player, and it's nice to see him find that again.
Jeremy?
Brad, of course, you want Terrence out there. Was there anything you gained in the last 2 games with him out and forcing others into different roles?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always gain something from your one of your best players being out. You gain. I mean, Ola Joseph is a way better player than he was the first time we played him. Henley's a way better player than he was the first time we played him because they gained experience and they've done some things. And I hope we're not without him for an elongated period. But we'll see what that next day. I mean, it's a day to day, but I think getting guys minutes and Luke and hard game for Luke because they don't help much. And yeah, we're going to see one on Thursday that helps a lot, so he's going to need to make shots. And, we got time minutes, and it's good to see RJ now break out of it. So I think those are some of the positives, and that's part of having a good team is you suck it up when one of your dudes is down.
Andy?
In the last couple of games, Matt's been able to get downhill and be aggressive offensively. When he's aggressive and gets to the cup and gets in those mid post ups, how much does that add to you guys offensively?
A lot. Yeah, and Matt's really comfortable because he knows he's got an unbelievable isolation game, and he knows that he can get a shot on any. It's crazy. He wanted an isolation with Trace, on Saturday. That's all he wanted. Just put Trace in a ball screen, and let him switch, and that's him, and he knows he can get that shot off. And when you add that diversity, running him into some post ups, he's big, he's strong, deceptively strong, and then he's really crafty, and he's got great touch in there. So yeah, it's something we've been working on a lot, and doing the same thing with Ty Rodgers as well.
Yeah.
Because he's had to contribute, can you describe how much better RJ is defensively and on the glass than he was maybe a year ago?
Yeah, it's always been, we knew that was going to be a strength of his because it's what he did last year in short spurts. And, we see his athleticism, when he explodes and jumps and how quick he is off the ground, and then you add that length with it. He uses that defensively. Now he's added intelligence, and he made one bad play tonight just trying to be cute and gamble. But, he's been a rock-solid defender, and that tenacity on the glass is something we need.
Doug?
Coach, there's a little bit of a quandary feeding Dane in the post when they're going to foul him and send him to the line. He drew 10 fouls tonight. So.
Oh, I don't worry about that a second. I guess I'd worry about that the last 2 minutes of a close game maybe. He's, he missed a few, but I think he's been making him a pretty decent clip here in the last 3 or 4 games. So I don't worry about that. Dane's a gamer. Take that hard fall and step up there and make 2. Dane will make him win games on the line.
I guess beyond the points or your words or Matt's hug, for RJ to have that moment where 15,000 kind of realized together that he's fighting, what can that mean for him moving forward to just feel that full-scale embrace?
Belief. People believe. People want RJ. Nobody's against him. Sometimes you think the whole world's against you, and, that's where kids get destroyed by social media, destroyed by that nonsense, that venom that's out there, and you start reading that stuff, and all of a sudden that feel good goes away pretty quick. And now just sitting there tonight and hear 15,000 plus cheering you on, knowing they got your back, man, that's all you need. We all need that. We all want to be, have those moments where we've got people behind us, people helping us, and that's pretty cool. That means a lot. It means a lot to me.
Jeremy?
Brad, we know how important guard play is in March, so to have Jaden have this kind of game, get snap out of that slump, how do you feel about him going into the stretch run? Great.
I thought he got timid in the first half. I don't ever want to see Jaden Epps like that. That's what I talked about at halftime. I said, just play. Be you. And, he sometimes tries to run offense, and he sometimes play, I call it the parking brake. He plays with the parking brake on. He's as fast as anybody in the world. Just go and use your instincts. And it's a fine line. I get it. He's a freshman. He's still doing that, but we're in a good place because Terrence, Ty, Coleman, Matt all can do it. They can all play in ball screens. They can all play. They can all pass it. They can all do different things. So we can play him off the ball some as well. And so I'm feeling, and I'm so happy for him to make shots tonight. That's huge.
Two about Matt. What is it, the art of his pump fake that is so effective, and how is it getting fouled on 3-pointers a skill, and how is he able to do that so much?
Yes. And if you ever notice Matt, he has there's very few good shooters who don't have to have their feet aligned. And I've only had one other one. There was kid Thomas DeJagua. I only had him as a freshman. Played at Oklahoma State. He could have his feet pointed that way and shoot it that way because he could get square. Then Matt has no dip. Matt has no. It's catch, boom, and it's off. He can shoot it flat-footed. He can shoot it elevated. But his footwork defies logic a little bit. In terms of it's just so unorthodox. And yet, and then that step back is at 6'9". Yeah, that's why they all like him at the next level. He's 6'9", go get a shot on anybody, and have a pretty good chance of making it. And but it's unique.
Is it a skill? That was the question, right?
No, it's a skill. There's no doubt. He is freakishly skilled. I mean, to think that he can handle the ball, to think that he can pass it, and then to make it catch and shoot. I mean, he's going to make that almost every time. But to be able to do that with a large defender on you, a small defender, it doesn't.
Anything else?
Well, he gets people off balance, and people get up and try to contest him, and emphasis on the rule that you got to let him land.
Scott.
I don't know if this run's going to rival the 19 straight days, but did that first experience, has that kind of informed how you're treating this stretch right now?
Yeah, it's been one of my main thoughts all day is what to do tomorrow. And, that's the downside of this game is, we had strep throat cases and a concussion, and we could have been resting.
Doug?
Just a quick one, Coach. Can you comment on how you played Jamison Battle? Was it just, were you content to play him one-on-one, and if he gets his, he gets his? Or?
Yeah, why not? He made a couple threes. He made a three at the end, 2 threes, one on RJ and one on Luke at the very end. Otherwise, he had 2 threes, and if he's making hard twos off the pull-up, great.
Yeah.
I really couldn't help that Jeff seemed to be the guy on your bench that is the hype man for RJ throughout this whole thing, trying to remind him how good of a basketball player he was. Just how important was that throughout this whole stretch of just telling him he's really, really good?
Huge. I mean, and again, it just goes back to belief. And Jeff has a great way of communicating, pushing, telling them when they're wrong, and it's different when it comes from me than sometimes an assistant coach. And Jeff's got a really, really good feel for me. We've been together for a long time, and he's got a really good feel for, as a former player, what you need to hear. When you're a lost soul for a little bit, you've got to, and he had a, he's psychology 101. He's got his master's in it, or not literally, but Jeff wasn't near that good a student. You can print that too. He'll love it. His parents will love that.
We just haven't asked since he's been back. Is Luke on any minute restriction, or is he full go?
He's full go.
Okay.
Luke is full go. And thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.